question is Esteban Carpio, who was being questioned by the police in relation to the stabbing of an 85-year-old woman in Rhode Island. At the time of the interrogation, there were two detectives present in the room with Carpio. While one of the detectives momentarily left the room to get water for Carpio, the other detective, Detective Sergeant James Allen, remained with him. During this time, Carpio took advantage of the situation and grabbed Detective Sergeant Allen's gun, proceeding to shoot him twice, causing his death. Carpio then jumped out of a third-story window in an attempt to flee the scene. However, he was apprehended by law enforcement just 45 minutes later. When he appeared in court for his arraignment, Carpio was wearing a mask designed to prevent offenders from spitting or biting at others, and his face appeared to be in rough shape, which surprised those present in the courtroom.
Step off.
Despite this, it was not Carpio who reacted shockingly, but rather his family members who accused the police of using excessive force.
Police brutality! He was mentally ill, and he needed help, and we couldn't get it. We tried and tried, and he didn't deserve this.
Following an FBI investigation, it was determined that the police did not use excessive force, and that Carpio's injuries were the result of his own actions, including his jump from a third-story window and his resistance to law enforcement. He was ultimately sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The individual in question is Ryan Stone, a man from Colorado who committed a crime spree that spanned 5 counties and was broadcast live by a news station's helicopter. Stone was found guilty of stealing 3 vehicles, one of which had a 4-year-old child inside. According to authorities, when Stone drove away, he led the police on a high-speed chase that exceeded 100 miles per hour. At one point during the chase, Stone's vehicle struck a Colorado State Patrol trooper who was trying to deploy stop sticks, resulting in serious injuries. After abandoning the damaged vehicle, Stone proceeded to forcibly remove another victim from their car and drove away. The chase then continued on foot, with Stone running through a busy intersection and eventually ending up in a parking lot between 2 buildings. As he attempted to scale a fence, law enforcement officers closed in on him, and he ultimately surrendered. Following his capture, Stone was taken into custody and sent to county jail, where he expressed a desire to be compensated for his internet fame.
Hey, did you know I made the news in the UK and Australia? What? Yeah!
During his court appearances, Stone blamed his actions on emotional stress and drug use.
Seeming like I was bragging about making international news, this, that, and the other. That was within the first week of being arrested. Still coming off of drugs.
Stone was ultimately convicted of 18 charges, including attempted manslaughter, child abuse, and assault. The judge sentenced him to 160 years in prison. Here are Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari, a farming couple from Cedar Springs, Michigan, are facing murder charges for the death of their 10-month-old daughter, Mary Welch. The couple allegedly told the police that they noticed their baby was skinny and underweight but did not seek medical attention due to their religious beliefs and distrust of medicine and the government. In a 911 call made by the father, Seth Welch, he reported finding his child dead.
How long ago did you find this child?
It's about an hour and a half. I was waiting. I called my lawyer first thing to ask, what's the next thing I should do.
So you found the child an hour and a half ago?
Yeah.
And called your lawyer first, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said when you found her, she was already believed to be deceased, right?
Yeah.
And that's when you consulted with a lawyer?
Yep.
Do you believe she was beyond help already?
Oh, yeah. She was dead as a doormat.
However, the autopsy revealed that Mary Welch's cause of death was malnutrition and dehydration, which was a result of neglect by her adult caregivers. This realization led to the couple facing the prospect of spending the rest of their lives behind bars.
Where they're alleging you knowingly or intentionally caused serious physical harm to a child. They're talking about this Mary Welch. It is a felony, possible penalty of up to life imprisonment or any term of years less than life.
This is Diana Lovejoy. She used to be married to Greg Malvahill and they lived in Carlsbad, California. After a turbulent divorce and numerous legal issues, Diana was ordered by the court to pay Greg $120,000 for his share in their family home, and also to share custody of their child. Diana became angry about the court orders and plotted with her boyfriend Weldon McDavid to kill Greg. During the attack, Greg was shot in the torso but survived. Both Diana and Weldon were found guilty of conspiring to murder and the court had sufficient evidence against them. When the verdict was read, Diana fainted in court, causing a thud that silenced the room, aside from the sound of her family members crying.
Alright, we're going to need to take a break. And if we could have the jury.
She was later found to have only fainted and was sentenced to 26 years to life in prison, while Weldon received 50 years to life for being the one who pulled the trigger. In a Cincinnati, Ohio courtroom, Jaleel Smith Riley was facing charges for robbery, murder, and seriously injuring Aaron Martin, the boyfriend of the victim Portia Brooks. According to police, Smith Riley confessed to the crimes, which occurred when he and two others attempted to rob Brooks and Martin.
I'm so sorry. I just want to come home with it.
This is somebody that feels genuine remorse. This is somebody that thinks about this every day, and he knows that he can't go back in time and undo what he did.
When they discovered that Martin had no cash, Smith Riley shot him in the head, causing permanent brain damage. He then shot Brooks, who passed away 3 days later. During the trial, Brooks' mother delivered a victim impact statement.
This is what I have left because of his greed, his selfishness, his complete disregard of and disrespect of others and life. This is what I have left. I talk to her, I kiss her, I hold her, but as you can see, I get nothing back except the reality that she is gone.
And her sister also spoke about the tragedy.
I have to deal with life without Portia, so he should deal with life without parole.
Finally, Smith Riley received the news that he would never be allowed to return home again, likely a reference to his sentence.
Court defendant serve a term of life without parole. As to count 4, for the offense of attempted murder.
Dramatic moments are expected in a courtroom. Don't miss out on the latest news and updates from the world of law and justice. Click here and subscribe.